Now, we might think of coffee as something that comes from far-off lands, tended by farmers in tropical climates. But what if I told you that you could have your very own coffee plants thriving right at home, gracing your garden or even your windowsill with their glossy leaves and the promise of freshly roasted beans? So, brew yourself a cuppa, perhaps not homegrown just yet, and let's get started. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the little bell notification so you never miss out on future green-fingered adventures. Before we even think about soil or sunshine, we need to decide which type of coffee plant we're going to grow. Arabica is the darling of the coffee world, known for its smoother, sweeter flavor profile with hints of chocolate and caramel. It's a little more demanding, preferring cooler temperatures and higher altitudes. But the taste, oh the taste. Robusta, on the other hand, is the strong, resilient one. It can handle hotter climates and is naturally resistant to pests and diseases. For those of you starting your coffee growing journey indoors or in slightly cooler climates, Arabica might be the way to go. If you're in a warmer region or fancy a challenge, Robusta could be your perfect match. Now, finding the right spot for your coffee plant is akin to choosing the perfect location for a prized rose bush. Coffee plants are most at home in a warm, humid environment that mimics their tropical origins. Think dappled sunlight, much like what you'd find under the canopy of a rainforest. They don't want to be scorched by harsh, direct sun all day long, but they do need a good few hours of gentle morning light to thrive. If you live in a warmer climate, you might consider a slightly shaded spot in your garden, perhaps under the protective canopy of a larger tree. For those of us in cooler regions, growing indoors is the way to go. And remember, coffee plants really don't like the cold. Just as we need good, nutritious food to thrive, so do our coffee plants. Coffee plants are rather particular about their soil, you see. They like it light, airy, and well-drained. Now you can find good quality potting mixes specifically designed for citrus plants, and these work a treat for coffee as well. When it comes to choosing a pot, it's all about giving those roots room to breathe and grow. Start your seedlings off in smaller pots, about 6 to 8 inches in diameter, and then gradually pot them up as they grow. And remember, always choose a pot with drainage holes to prevent those roots from becoming waterlogged. Now, there's something quite magical about the process of germination, wouldn't you agree? That moment when a tiny seed awakens from its slumber and bursts forth with life, it's truly remarkable. To give your coffee beans the best start in life, I always recommend soaking them in lukewarm water for about 12 hours before planting. This helps to soften the outer shell and kickstart the germination process. While they're soaking, prepare your seed trays or pots. Fill them with a good quality seed starting mix. It's lighter and finer than regular potting mix, which is ideal for those delicate first roots. Once soaked, gently place your coffee seeds about an inch deep in the moist compost. Then cover them lightly. Keep the soil consistently moist but not waterlogged, and be patient. Germination can take anywhere from 2 to 12 weeks, depending on the variety and freshness of the seeds. Once your coffee seedlings have developed their first set of true leaves, typically when they are about 4 to 6 inches tall, they're ready for a bit more space to stretch their roots. This is a crucial stage in their growth, as giving them more room will help them develop a stronger root system. This is the time to transplant them into larger pots. Make sure to handle them gently to avoid damaging the delicate roots. Choose a pot that's about twice the size of the one they're currently in, with good drainage, of course. Proper drainage is essential to prevent waterlogging, which can harm the plants. Fill it with that lovely, free-draining potting mix we talked about earlier. This mix will ensure that the roots get enough air and don't sit in water. Carefully tease the seedlings out of their pots, handling them by their leaves rather than the stems, as the stems are more fragile and can easily break. And plant them at the same depth they were in the previous pot. Planting them too deep or too shallow can stress the seedlings. Water them in well and place them in a bright, indirectly lit spot. This light condition is ideal for their growth, mimicking their natural habitat. For the next few weeks, your coffee seedlings will be focusing on establishing their roots in their new home. This period is critical for their long-term health and stability. Regularly check the soil moisture to ensure it's just right. Now, just like any living thing, your coffee plants will thrive when their basic needs are met. Water, food, and a little bit of grooming or pruning in the case of plants. These three elements are crucial for the overall health and productivity of your coffee plants, ensuring they grow strong and produce those cherished coffee cherries. When it comes to watering, coffee plants like their soil to be consistently moist but not soggy. Overwatering can lead to root rot, while underwatering can stress the plant and reduce its yield. A good way to check is to stick your finger about an inch into the soil. This simple test helps you gauge whether the soil has the right moisture level. If it feels dry, it's time for a drink. Ensuring the soil is adequately moist will keep your coffee plant hydrated and happy. As for feeding, a balanced liquid fertilizer applied every 4 to 6 weeks during the growing season, spring and summer, will keep your coffee plant happy and healthy. This regular feeding schedule provides essential nutrients that support growth and fruit production. Pruning isn't strictly necessary for coffee plants grown in pots, but a little trim here and there can help to maintain a bushy shape and encourage more branches, which ultimately means more coffee cherries for you. Regular pruning can also help manage the plant's size and shape, making it easier to care for. If you do decide to prune, the best time is in late winter or early spring, before the new growth starts. This timing allows the plant to recover and grow vigorously when the growing season begins. Now, even with the best intentions and care, our plants can sometimes encounter a few hiccups along the way. One common issue is yellowing leaves. This can be a sign of overwatering, underwatering, or a nutrient deficiency. Check the soil moisture first, and adjust your watering accordingly. If the soil is moist, then a lack of nutrients might be the culprit, so try giving your plant a dose of fertilizer. Another thing to watch out for is pests. Coffee plants can attract common houseplant pests like aphids, mealybugs, and spider mites. A gentle wipe with a damp cloth can often dislodge these unwanted visitors, or you can use an insecticidal soap spray for more persistent cases. Now, this is the moment we've all been waiting for, the harvest. After months of patient nurturing, your coffee plant will reward you with its bounty beautiful glossy coffee cherries, ripe for the picking. But how do you know when those cherries are ready? Well, it's all about the color. Initially, the cherries will be a vibrant green, but as they ripen, they'll gradually turn a deep, rich red, almost like cranberries. Once the majority of the cherries on your plant have reached this deep red hue, you can begin harvesting. The best way to pick the cherries is to gently twist them off the branch, leaving the stem behind. And remember, the longer the cherries are left on the branch to ripen, the sweeter and more flavorful the beans will be. Harvesting your coffee cherries is just the beginning of the journey. This is where the magic starts, but there's a lot more to come before you can enjoy that perfect cup of coffee. Now it's time to transform those bright red berries into the aromatic, flavorful beans we all know and love. This transformation involves several crucial steps, each contributing to the final taste and quality of your coffee. The first step is to remove the outer layer of the cherry, a process called pulping. This step is essential to get to the bean inside, which is what we need for the next stages. You can do this by hand, squeezing the cherry until the bean pops out, or you can purchase a small hand-cranked pulper if you have a larger harvest. The method you choose can affect the efficiency and ease of the process. Once pulped, the beans will be covered in a sticky layer called mucilage. This mucilage needs to be removed to ensure the beans dry properly and develop the right flavors. This needs to be removed either through fermentation, soaking the beans in water for a few days, or by washing them thoroughly in clean water. Fermentation can add unique flavors, while washing is quicker and simpler. Spread the beans out in a single layer on a clean surface, such as a baking sheet or a screen, and allow them to dry naturally in a warm, well-ventilated area. This drying process can take several days, depending on the climate and humidity. Finally, it's time for the grand finale roasting. This is where those beans develop their characteristic flavor and aroma. Roasting can be done in a pan, an oven, or a specialized roasting machine, each method offering different levels of control and results. Growing coffee at home is not a quick fix for your caffeine cravings. It's a labor of love, a testament to the patience and dedication of the gardener within each of us. From that tiny seed to the first fragrant cup, the journey can take several years. But oh, the reward is well worth the wait. The moment you brew a cup of coffee from beans you nurtured yourself, from plant to cup, is truly special. It's a coffee that tells a story, your story. A story of patience, of learning, of connecting with nature, and of creating something truly unique and delicious. There you have it, a journey from seed to steaming cup. right in your own home. If you found this guide helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more green-fingered adventures. Until next time, happy gardening!